Hey, so this video is for, it's a response to a response, I suppose. Jojo Fry had a video about being a beginner, and Waldo from Loving's Guitar did a response to it. And actually, I watched his video first. If you don't know Loving's Guitar, you should. He is a font of inspiration and wisdom, just the joy of making music. And I love hearing him play. The guy is awesome, and I love hearing him share his experience in life. So I'm gonna, Waldo, if you're watching, this is for you. I've commented on a lot of your videos, and you've commented back. So hi, it's Snug, TL, and I think you maybe need to. I'm going to be presumptuous here, but I think you need to cut yourself a little slack. I know you felt like you've maybe gone about it teaching wrong, and you talked about Joe's video opening your eyes and being able to see things from a different perspective, and that doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. I can very much relate to Jojo. I picked up a guitar for the first time in 2002, 2003, something like that. No idea what I was doing. I started to learn bass in 2000, 2001. I will save you the convoluted story, but also tried to learn guitar. I'm still trying to learn guitar. 25 years later, 20 years later, still trying to learn bass. All this time, I am very much a beginner, and part of that is the reasons like Joe talked about, not putting in the time, maybe not having, trying to learn on my own has definitely been a hindrance. But a lot of it is let me tell you this story. When I was in high school, I had a friend named Matt. Matt was a virtuoso when it came to math. I've always struggled with math, and I think math and mathematics and music, I think, are related. I think you're wired for it up here, or you're not. And I'm very much not wired for math. Matt was. Matt was not a teacher. And we would get frustrated with each other because I would go to him for help. I would say, how do you do this problem? And he would just say, well, you just do it. He didn't even have to think about it. He could see the answer on the page. He couldn't explain to me the steps because he just intuitively knew it. So in terms of math, if I've got the formula and it's in front of me and I see all the steps, and I could, through a lot of work and trial and error, plod my way. And it didn't help that I was mildly dyslexic, so sometimes I'd see numbers reversed and write them down reversed. I'd be working a whole different problem, and I'd get the problem right, but it was the wrong problem because, so anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I can see that with people that I know that have tried teaching me some things in music. If I hear a piece of music, I can't tell you this note is necessarily higher than that note. It takes a lot of effort. It takes, like I told another friend of mine, I have to brute force my way through theory, through understanding, through these things. So um, I understand that. I understand that's a limitation. I try not to use that as an excuse. But a lot of what I'm able to accomplish um, through music is by memorization, repetition. I can learn to do certain things. I learn why the certain chords are the shapes that they are, and whatever. But I don't necessarily understand that. And I can look at a workbook or a notebook, or reading music. I understand the theory behind it and the staff and where the notes are. But when it comes to read, I have to sit down and I have to count and I have to figure out, okay, I know this is this and this is this. And it's very much effort. And there's nothing wrong with effort, but I don't think it's a hurdle that I have not been able to clear. And so I recognize that. So I see it as a limitation. It's, it's not an excuse to not do something, but I have to keep that in mind. I can do this much and no more. That's the extent of my abilities. I can only jump so high. I can only run so fast. I can only do this much. So am I ever going to be able to do what I wish I could do? No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm ever going to be able. I'm still trying to, in your video, you talked about, learning scales. And if you've been doing scales for 30 years, I'm still trying to learn scales. And I can, the whatever it is. I didn't even got it right. I can look at that and I can get it down, and I practice and I practice and I practice, and I think I've got it. And then if I go, a couple days without doing it, then I'm back at square one. It's gone up here. Even if I got that scale down, would I know what to do in a certain key? Do I even know what the key is? I've got 10 ears. I can't necessarily tell, I can't tell at all. Oh, I can hear this music and I know it's in this key. That is something I'll never be able to do. I play every Sunday, well, not every Sunday. I'm in a rotation at church. I play bass. And sometimes the singers need to take something down a half step or take something up a half step to be able to sing it more correctly. And if they've done that when I've not been at a practice or something, and I come in and I knew, well, last time we were playing this in the key of, the key of D, and so we start playing, and it takes me a while to realize, hey, I'm in the wrong key. Now part of that's the joke of being a bass player, and I embrace that and accept that and whatnot. But part of it is just like, I can't hear all those, the intricacies of, does this go to not, or go not together or not together. Joe says that's a thing that you can learn. Maybe. I'm 50 years old. I'm not learning that. I'm just not. Is that a cop out? Maybe. But I've got limited time and limited energy. So I'm picking and choosing my battles. That's not a battle that I'm choosing to engage in. Maybe you can tell me that I'm wrong and that I am more than open to correction and criticism. Anyone that knows me would tell you that I do not shy away from criticism. I expect it. Praise, I'm not so good at dealing with. Compliments, I'd rather not hear. You got something to tell me that I'm doing wrong, I'm gonna listen. But that's another story altogether, anyway. But does that mean I can't grow and learn? I don't think so. I think, you know, like I said, I bought my guitar I bought an acoustic in 2002 or 2003. And I didn't have a roommate, and I didn't have a TV for a few months, and my skills improved drastically in that. Of course, then I was printing off chord sheets for songs that I knew, and that's how I was learning. So I'd play the song, and then, can I play that, you know? So, you know, learning by hearing it and trying to make it sound close. And but then, you know, I got married and had kids. You know, when we first have a kid, you think, oh, it's great, the kids are gonna let me play my guitar and they're just gonna listen in awe. And that is not my experience with having little kids. They want to touch and they want to help. And it was easier to put the guitar away for a while, and then, you know, a while turned into quite a while. So it's only in the past, I don't know, three years that I've, you know, and I've always been playing bass in that time. But it's only been recently that I picked up the guitar, and there was, you know, it didn't come back as naturally as I thought it would. My ability was not what it was when I first put it down. But I'm getting there. I'm getting older, and I'm getting arthritis, and that is an impediment. But it's not you know, it's not a wall that I can't get past. So I am plugging away. I would love to be able to, you know, play a slow blues, you know, lick. Will I ever be able to? Maybe. I'm not ruling it out. Will it be probably at first just memorization of something in monkey see, monkey do? Possibly. That's probably what it's going to be. But can I build off that? Maybe. So, yeah. And then Joe talked about one of the things that she wants to do is writing music. Well, I started writing music. I started writing really before I could play, because I've always been a reader and I've always enjoyed writing. So at first, my friend Jeff, that kind of taught me the basics of guitar and bass, he was going to school for music education. So I would bring him, you know, lyrics, because in my head, I'm still trying to write music, you know, I don't hear a melody in my head. I don't hear even, you know, like a tempo or a structure. Really, it starts with phrasing, maybe just a specific phrase that gets stuck in my head, and I build on that. And so then I kind of write it, and okay, I'm going to write something, and it's more poetry, which is fine and good, but it's also very limiting, because you listen to a lot of the music that I like. It's not necessarily poetry set to music. It's something else. It's a song. It doesn't follow this rigid structure. But, you know, you work with what you know, and that's what I know. But as I get that, and as I've, you know, Jeff's no longer in my life, which is a whole different story that I'll never, you know, just things happen, life happens, and people go different ways. So now I'm having to supply my own music, and that's eye-opening. You know, you start with the chords, you know, and what key can you do it in, and, you know, I don't want everything to be in the key of G or the key of C, even though those are the easiest chords. But it's a process, and you know, you bounce it off people, and what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And some people are really good about wanting to give you feedback, and some people don't really. They say, "Oh yeah, that's fine, that's good." You know, they don't want to give you any answers, which is fine. I think having a collaborator is rare, a true collaborator, which, you know, boy, I'm getting way off topic, if there was even a topic to begin with. But anyway, yeah. So all this to say is, I don't think people's limitations, you know, are what they are. I'll speak for myself here. My limitations are what they are. They are not the responsibility of an instructor or a coach or a teacher. Now, can you maybe come about things in a different way with knowing what those are? Perhaps, maybe you can. But if a student isn't even aware of their own limitations, how do you do that? I don't know. And I don't think that's the responsibility of the teacher, unless your whole perspective on everything changes and you start out probing those things. But yeah, so I wanted to just throw my perspective as someone that is, you know, a beginner for 20 some years, probably will always be a beginner. And I try not to see that either as a frustration that prohibits me from growing, out of, you know, well, I can't do what this person does, so why even do it? But on maybe a more difficult thing is to not see that as an excuse to stay. Well, I can't learn anymore. I know I can learn. How much can I learn? That's what I don't know. Waldo, I appreciate what you've brought, the encouragement you've given to me in some of your videos of just sharing about, you know, music, life, instruments, passion. I like music. I don't quite understand it, but I don't have to understand something to like it. I've been moved by songs. I've been moved to write songs and share those as the situation allows and is proper and fit. So yeah, I'm going to keep doing that, and if I can inspire someone else to pick up an instrument or pick up a pen and put pen to paper, then, you know, that's what we're here for, right? So yeah, so that's all I have to say. I look forward to this weekend, because you're probably going to be putting up another video, and look forward to watching that, and I will catch you later.